Good evening. I'm gonna give him my 2 shekels about the Shabuzi Grammy nominee thing. With that, it brings back up what Mandani said back in November and what Deontay Kyle did back in January. It's an erasure. It's an erasure of Black American contribution being the foundation of this nation. When you say someone built something, you mean they were there at the beginning, at the foundation of it. And yet, most people who have immigrant backgrounds didn't get here until the 1800s. And if we're talking about Caribbean and African, they didn't get here until the 1980s. Enslaved Black people, from the native to the African, were here, stripped of our inheritance, stripped of our culture, stripped of everything. Raped, brutalized, tormented, and forced to be the blood, bones, sweat, and tears of the foundation of this nation. Everybody wants to give credit to the Asian immigrants who finished the transatlantic line but never started it. They don't want to give it because the whole entire East Coast, those railings were put down by Black Americans. Then it was the late Europeans in the mid to late 1800s. Then it was the Asians in the late 1800s. That's how that went. By that time, slavery had been done. Most of the East Coast was already built by enslaved Black Americans. If you want to talk about New York and how it was free, guess what? Because of the labor of Black Americans in the South, New York was able to prosper. They were able to fund and profit off of the labor of slaves in the South. My people. You can be a proud immigrant, that's fine. But don't dare say that you built this country. You may have contributed to this country. You may have helped advance this country. But immigrants did not build this country. That's not how it occurred. So we're going to keep going on this. We're going to keep telling y'all and reminding y'all, immigrants did not build this country. Because if they did, it will still be trees and woodland. If you're talking about the immigrants of today, the HB1 visas, the work visas, the I've gotten government position of a country that's already here with an economic system visa, then I'm going to need you to stand down. If you are willfully ignorant of American history, I'm going to need you to stand down. Being a proud immigrant is one thing, because you should be proud of where you came from. But saying immigrants built this country, that's a problem. Immigrants made a living in this country. I can get that. Strong cultural ties, I can get that. But immigrants didn't build this country. Immigrants are what's continuing this country because rich business owners and landowners do what they always do, cut costs. They love using low wage labor. Something you contribute as slavery. It's not. Because when you consciously make a decision to work for somebody like that, who doesn't mind giving you low wages, that's a choice. It's always been a choice. If you're an immigrant, you made a choice. But the enslaved, my people, had no choice. And we know we built this country. And for people like Deontay Kyle, who only focus on us going after black immigrants, that tells me one thing and one thing only. You're not really paying attention, not really understanding anything, and don't care. Because someone who's supposed to be informed is acting very ignorant, is very upset that they don't know what's going on, and is making a fuss because they refuse to find out what's going on. And that's a problem. If you're only focusing on the fact that certain individuals are clapping back at disrespectful individuals, and only think we're just out and thinking that these people are just going on the internet and attacking every immigrant, then yes, you are misinformed. You're not even informed. You're just emotional. And you're only giving emotional responses because you're ill-informed and refuse to be informed. But that's okay. Because we're out here. And no, we're not going to fight ICE. We're not going to protest. We're going to protect our own. And we're going to sit out. Like we said back in 2024. We said, y'all going to deal with these 4 years. And we going to be resting these 4 years. This is only year 2. But trust and believe, we're watching. As you already know. And we're not silent. As you already know. And we're going to be here to set the record straight. That is it. That is all.